Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Multiversus video, and in today's video we're going to be going over the Season 1 patch notes. We're just going to be going through the patch, looking at it, see what changed, see what I think about the changes, and yeah, that's about it. So let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, as you can see, we got the patch notes pulled up. The free character rotation is Arya, Batman, LeBron, and Steven. They also now have a marker defining them as one of the limited time, like the free rotation characters. It's like a little clock icon and stuff. It's like hard to miss. We also know that Morty will be coming out on the 23rd, but that's already been revealed and stuff, so that's good. And a lot of these patches are coming in two parts. So the first part will be, on August 15th, and the second will be shortly after. So not every change in these patch notes are going to be here on the 15th, basically. Some cool meta changes. They increased Battle Pass XP right here. The rewards increased to 10 for wins and 5 for losses, which is pretty much like a little over double it's double for winning and a little under for losing, so that's not bad. Also, they disabled class-based missions on the for the challenges other than tanks, because everyone should have Wonder Woman after playing the tutorial. So now you won't have any of those missions where it's like win as 2 mages and you're like, oh, I don't have a mage, so I can't do that one. And then you have to use your free skip, and then it might also be something that, you don't have, and blah, 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 blah. They also lowered the ring out requirement for a lot of these challenges for the seasonal missions, like 50 times instead of 75, 50 times instead of 75, 50 times instead of 75. Get 50 assists, which was 125. That's a lot better now, because, oh my god. For the general perks, a lot of it is just bug fixes and consistency changes, so everything is working how it should. The only exceptions being Retaliation Ready, which they reduced the stack gray health from 4 HP for 3 seconds to 2 HP for 3 seconds, so you're getting half as much gray health from that perk pretty much. For the School Me Once, Jerry will now spawn a projectile block buff if you're getting hit by Jerry, which apparently was kind of finicky before, so that's good. Yeah, see, just fix an issue. A lot of it is just bug fixes and just making sure everything's working the way it should. Nothing really game changing, other than static electricity. Thrown items will now apply the electricity, so that's cool. Ice got a little bit of a nerf. Movement speed slow at 1 stack reduced from 20% to 15%, so now it's a linear. It's not like you go 20% and then 15, 15, 15. Now it's just 15 all the way up, which is nice to see, especially someone that's been getting creamed by Superman recently. That's a pretty cool change. And then there's some tutorial bug fixes and stuff. They added some new terms to the glossary, like wall fatigue and all that stuff. And now we're to the the meat and potatoes of the patch, the character buffs and nerfs. And there are quite a bit, as you can see here. This goes for a while. A lot of characters got changed. So let's go ahead and just jump in. It's in alphabetic order, so we're going to start with Arya. Arya got a lot of buffs this patch. She is looking pretty good. I know this is coming out the day after the update, but I've been playing all day, and Aryas are really good right now, especially her side special is just... She's strong, which is nice to see, because for a while she was kind of underwhelming unless you put in 20 hours into the lab and, learned how to play her perfectly. But now, she seems like she's an easier character to get into, and for the people that have already mastered her, she is a lot stronger because of this patch. Now, her up special, after hitting a fighter, it will now more accurately launch them at an angle to allow for follow-up, so it just helps her combo ability. Her aerial up, the first hit will now more accurately combo into the second hit, which that's just, I guess, would be considered like a hitbox change, just, things not connecting like they should. The neutral air attack has earlier branching on hit. The ground side special, Arya will retain velocity on the first hit of her side attack. The ground down attack now has slightly earlier dodge branching, so I guess that's like dodge canceling, where you can just, do more combos from it. And then the her air ground neutral special got a change. It fixed the bug where Arya would not copy over capsule hitboxes on her normal neutral attacks when stealing a fighter's face. So a lot of this is just bug fixes for this, which I didn't really play much Arya, so I can't really speak on to if these bugs are super annoying or noticeable or anything, but it's nice to see that they're just fixing bugs and making sure the game runs smoothly and works how they want it to work. So that's good. Batman got some nerfs, as you can see. The ground side attack got added 3 frames of whiff recovery on the first hit, and then the air/ground neutral attack, which is coming in the second patch, so this is not a live change yet. It's coming in the next update. The battering pickup will now return 9.45 seconds of its cooldown, down from 11.55 seconds. This change helps to create a window from when the battering is used for the opponent to react. With perks like CoffeeZilla causing this cooldown to be even shorter, we felt this change was necessary to create counterplay against the battering. Now, I have some people that main Batman. I have a couple in our community Discord, which you should check out in the description down below. It's really cool. And the battering is pretty impressive if someone knows how to use it. So that's nice that it's getting an extra bit of cooldown on it, so you have more time to actually go in and get in on Batman while he doesn't have that tool. Other than that, the side special fixed a bug where Batman would overshoot his grapple destination if the fighter he was grappling to dodged. This is a little weird one because I know a lot of people liked overshooting, because even if they didn't hit them, it would give them a better position based on where the enemy dodged to. But I think it would be cool to add an option for his side special where if you just tap it, it will go to the grappling point and it won't go past, but if you hold down the button, it will fly past them. So even if you hit, you can still keep that momentum going. So I think that would make for some pretty cool combos, and I think it would be better to let the player decide kind of where they want to be positionally wise by letting them, choose if they want to overshoot or not. I don't know how that would really affect the meta because I don't really play a lot of Batman, but I think just having that option would be really neat. And then Bugs Bunny got nerfed. Thank God. Can I just say that? I've never thought Bugs Bunny was that big of a problem character, but if someone really knows how to use Bugs Bunny, I just didn't stand a chance. I'm gonna be honest. Some of these setups, they're really good. But I guess you can say that about any character, right? If you master a character, you master a character. It really doesn't matter which character it is. But yeah, he got a lot of nerfs and some changes. The up special and side special in the air, they just fixed the exploit where they could spawn 2 rockets. That was kind of annoying. Personally, I really didn't fight any bugs that did the double the rockets. A lot of the bugs I fought, had honor, had dignity. So that really wasn't an issue for me, but it's really good that they fixed that because the rockets are a powerful tool and they shouldn't be able to spawn 2 of them for the price of 1. That's a little redonkulous, Let's see, the air ground neutral special fixed an exploit where bugs could spawn multiple safes without triggering his cooldown, and then they nerfed the safe HP by 2. So instead of having 16 health, it has 14, which that's pretty good, but it's only 2 HP, so I'm not going to say that's super noticeable, but it's nice that it'll crack a little bit earlier. The air down special, bugs previous tunnels will now disappear when creating new tunnels. That makes sense. The air up attack added 4 frames of whiff recovery. That's a pretty good nerf because his up air attack is one of his stronger attacks. Him and Harley with the bat up airs, it's a monster of an attack. So I'm glad to see that got nerfed. The air side attack increased whiff recovery by 5 frames. The air neutral attack increased whiff recovery by 5 frames. And the ground down attack, Pi max lifetime set to 8 seconds from infinite, which, that's pretty cool because I guess it makes sense for it to not just be able to fly infinite, just have an infinite Pi. And then the Pi no longer applies a slow. That bit must be coming in the second part of the patch because when I was playing on the update yesterday, it was still applying slow to me. So that might be a second update change. But yeah, it looks like Bugs just got a lot more whiff recovery added on to his attack so that you can actually whiff punish him a lot more effectively. Because that's usually the method I rely on, especially when going against people that, use setups or Bugs Bunny specifically, is trying to whiff punish and just bait out attacks and stuff. And now you can do that a little bit easier. So that's pretty good. And now the character everybody was waiting to get nerfed, Finn. Good old Finn. Fighting against Finn felt too difficult as Finn felt a bit too safe and could throw out attacks without much fear of a punish due to how quickly he recovered. Hurt/hitbox foundational updates are coming soon, but it will not be in this patch. Yeah, you think he was a bit too safe, throw attacks without fears of getting punished because of his hitboxes? I mean, they nailed it. But Finn does seem to be a lot less stronger now, which is nice. His passive attacks affected by attack decay no longer spawn coins, and Finn now spawns with 100 gold instead of 200, which is nice. He can't get all those speed boosts immediately or as quickly, which is a good change. Now his air down special did get a fix. Fix an issue where the gym required 200 gold to spawn, but only cost 100 to spawn. The gym required 200 gold to spawn, only costs 100 to spawn. Gym now requires and costs 100. Yeah, that's a weird issue. The air side special added additional whiff recovery. Nice, you can punish it a little bit easier. The ground / air up special, the backpack, reduces strength of the vacuum effect on the backpack. Weaker hits of the backpack will no longer overwrite stronger knockbacks from other attacks. So basically it doesn't have attack superiority. So if he doesn't have that much gold and he's going for his backpack and you're using like, I don't know, like a shaggy side special, you should be able to beat it, or something with a stronger knockback. Which I guess that's how they decide which attack wins, is which one has the stronger knockback, which I wish they would make like a blog post or something detailing that, because sometimes it really feels like your attack should win and it doesn't, or other times it's like, I don't know how my attack beat that one, but I'm not complaining, you know? It also got additional whiff recovery, and the hitboxes should better match the attack. It's not perfect until our planned hurt / hitbox system overhaul. So it's a little bit better, which I'm okay with that, honestly, because the backpack was just a menace of a move. Especially if you had the unfortunate luck to run into 2 Finn players and they're just spamming backpack. It's like, oh cool, I don't get to do anything this match. The air side attack reduced active frames to diminish Finn's ability to hit fighters behind him, which is cool because getting hit whenever the Finn is attacking in the opposite direction of you was kind of annoying. Let's see, the ground down attack. The distance Finn covers with this attack now scales with how charged the attack is. That's a pretty interesting change. So they didn't make it any weaker, but if you don't charge it as long, you're not going to go as far. So if you really want that good footsie tool, or you really want to like take people by surprise with how much distance you cover, you actually have to charge the attack quite a bit now, which is nice. Let's see, the ground side attack increased whiff recovery for the first hit. That's nice. And the on the house perk, fix an issue where Finn still spent gold on gems spawned by the perk. Slightly reduce the launch speed of gems spawned by the perk. This should fix issues that arose when this perk was combined with the Make It Rain dog perk. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played that much Finn. Or the matches I did play Finn, I just played Finn like everybody else and spammed up backpack. So, not sure how the on the house perk change is going to be, but if it's an issue and it's fixed, that's always good for game health. So, also, I don't have anyone that plays Rain Dog. I've never played with like an ally Rain Dog, so I have no idea. I don't even know what that perk does, if I'm being honest with you. All I know is Rain Dog likes to sit in this back and spam projectiles and do like 900 damage a match. Which, I think Rain Dog got nerfed this patch. Oh, he got buffed. Okay, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's see, Garnets. The air ground neutral special got a buff. Song activation starts earlier on frame 12 instead of frame 30. That's nice, because that activates like half as fast now, so that's really good. Or twice as fast, sorry. The air ground special got a change. Air ground down special. Fix a bug where Garnet would be stopped by Iron Giant's collision when she moves with her down special. Alright, good that they fixed the bug. And then her air neutral attack got a buff, slightly higher base knockback. Cool. Not really too much to comment on. That's just, you know, some interesting changes. Let me know, Garnet mains, down in the comments below what you think of those, because honestly, I think I fought against 1 or 2 Garnets. She doesn't really seem to be a super popular character, so let me know what you think about these changes if you play a lot of Garnets. Let's see. Harley got a change to her Stuffy Bad. Harley bomb VFX shrunk to better match the explosion radius. That's cool. And then the weight increased her weight from 42 to 44, so she's a bit heavier now. Okay, that's fair. The only thing I can say about Harley is she's pretty good. Her combos are really good, especially if someone knows how to do like her looping combos. She's pretty strong. So now she's a little bit harder to knock out, but only by 2 weights, so that shouldn't be that big of an issue. So Harley, you know, not really any significant changes. Now, I don't know what happened to Iron Giant, but someone did not like him a lot this patch because he got destroyed. These are pretty much all nerfs or bug fixes. So let's get into the Iron Giant nerfs. Let's see, VFX. Global Fighter VFX now better matches Iron Giant's size without making the screen too busy. Notable adjustments include projectile block buff, speed boost buff, and Steven Bubble debuff. So that's just HUD changes. That's not really too significant. Now his air ground down special, his butt slam, the butt slam, got a change. Fix an issue where VFX trails would persist and fill up the screen. Okay, I've noticed that happening, so that's a good fix. Okay. Now the actual changes. Can no longer use Cannonball attack when out of air specials. That makes sense because it is an air special. Knockback angle changed to send fighters more horizontally and away from Iron Giants. And fix an issue that allowed for infinitely bouncing on enemies near the ground. Okay, those are good things. The one I want to highlight here is the knockback angle change. Because a lot of the time when you're using Iron Giant, you would just stack perks that increase knockback up, like vertically, because that's what the butt slam did. So now that it does horizontally, I wonder if that's going to be a far harder move to actually kill with, because when it went straight up, typically if they were above like 115 or something like that, a butt slam would kill. But now that's horizontally, depending on which direction you knock back and which side of the screen you're on. Because, you know, if you think about it, when you're on the base stage, like flat, when you go up, it doesn't matter where you're at horizontally on the stage, you're still going up. But now, say you're like on the left side of the stage and you hit them and it sends them to the right, that's probably not going to kill. But, I mean, if you're on the right side of the stage and you send them to the right, it's probably still going to kill. So I think they're going to, like Iron Giant Mains, are going to have to definitely watch their positioning a lot more and notice when they use their butt slam, kind of try to angle it to where they make sure they hit them and send them on the side that they want to. So, like, the move requires a little bit more skill to use, which is, I mean, interesting to see, but also, as someone that has been playing Iron Giant since release, it kind of sucks because I did like killing vertically, but I do have to say that was a very strong move, so I don't mind that it gets nerfed. You just gotta adjust. You just gotta adjust and use it in a new way now, which is pretty cool. Alright, the air ground neutral special. Gray health from activation reduced from 2 plus the number of bolts HP for 5 seconds to number of bolts HP for 3 seconds. So now you don't get that extra 2 added onto your bolts for 5 seconds, you just get the number of bolts for 3 seconds. So you get a little less HP for a little less longer. The gray health from ally overlap reduced from 5 HP for 5 seconds to 3 HP for 3 seconds. It's just, you get less gray health for overlapping. That's fine. Alrighty, the air up attack. Or, nope, sorry, I skipped one. The ground forward special. Iron Giant grabs are correctly blocked by incompatible states. Okay, that's a nice change. That's just, you know, making the move work how it's supposed to. The ground forward special, or nope, just read that, haha. The air up attack can no longer hit the same target multiple times. Okay, I guess that's just like little Superman punch. I never had it connect 2 times with the same punch, but I guess if that was happening, it's good that it got changed. The air neutral attack, final hit knockback angle changes in fighters more horizontally and away from Iron Giant. Okay, and it got increased knockback scaling. So now if you're using it a lot, it's gonna send them like less distance away. That's okay. The ground up attack. Gray health from scrap reduced from 3 HP for 5 seconds to 2 HP for 3 seconds. Allies that consume scrap will overwrite any existing gray health they have from consuming scrap. So basically it's hard, you can't really stack it, you just get like the full bonus from picking up a new one, and you get less gray health for less time. The ground forward attack. Fixed attack decay not triggering on all parts of the forward attack combo. That's okay. Oh. Excuse me. Bless me? I don't know. The ground down attack. Gray health from art reduced from 10 HP for 10 seconds to 6 HP for 3 seconds. So just less gray health. It looks like a lot of this, a lot of his nerfs were definitely his knockback. Instead of going up, now he does more horizontally, which, you know, you just got to learn to use the moves differently. That's not really, I wouldn't say that's too big of a nerf, because you can just learn how to play around it, and you just have to learn to use the moves in a new way. So I'm not saying like, oh, that move objectively sucks now. It's more of like, oh, okay, the way I was using it sucks now. I just have to use it differently. So that, to me, really isn't that big of a deal. But, yeah, they really nerfed his gray health. Like, they made him a lot less tanky, which, I mean, it makes sense because you can already get Iron Giant up to like 200 health pretty easily and still have kind of a decently hard time to kill him. But yeah, he's definitely not as tanky, nowhere near as tanky as he used to be, and it looks like his gray health affects his allies a lot less now too. So that kind of sucks, but we'll see. I think he's still a pretty solid character. He was a bit strong, I'll admit, as someone that, you know, as an Iron Giant man, I'll admit he was a bit strong. So these nerfs really don't bother me all that much. But let me know down in the comments below what you think, because I know this is probably going to be one of the more like controversial characters that got changes. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments. And then we got Jake. Air down attack. Removed instant cancel out of the attack to prevent skateboard infinites. No longer bounces off allies. So yeah, no more skateboard infinites. I know, I'm happy to see that because I have been destroyed by Jake's. Just, you know, kick flipping the shit out of me. Which, I mean, it was cool to see, don't get me wrong. But as the person getting destroyed, you know, didn't feel great. The ground up attack. Additional whiff recovery, slightly later charge cancel window to make it a bit more committal. That's okay. So now you have to commit to your ground up attack more and it added additional whiff recovery, so you can punish it a little bit more if they do miss. So yeah, not too many changes for Jake, but also not really, I don't think, any major changes other than the Skateboard Infinite, which was, broken, so that needed to get changed. But yeah, Jake main should not be too upset. And LeBron got a little bit of a mix. A little bit of a mix between buffs and nerfs. And I know there's one in here that pretty much killed the character for me personally, the way I like to play him. Which, I'm not going to say that's like a bad change, it's just like I probably won't use him that much anymore. Which is funny because I have a video on my channel literally called LeBron's my new main, but I guess not anymore. Let's see, the air ground side special. LeBron solo dunk no longer spawns a shockwave on the ground. That's the big change. I used the shockwave as more of like a footsie tool of I would purposely cut my dunk short so that, my opponents would be more likely to try to rush in and punish me, and then they would get hit with the shockwave. I use it as like kind of a more of a mind like gamey tool and stuff. Like, am I going to go for try to hit you with a shockwave, or am I going to dunk right on you, and how are you going to react to that, kind of. But now the solo dunk no longer spawns the shockwave, so now that mind game is gone. You really can't play it anymore. The alley-oop teleport version of LeBron dunk spawns a shockwave and launch fighters into the shockwave. The shockwave will launch fighters into a final hit that applies the weaken debuff. So pretty much, the alley-oop teleport really, I don't think got that many changes other than will launch fighters into the shockwave. That I'm not too sure, like, does it pull them in or what happens there? But it always, the alley-oop dunk always gave him armor and applied the weaken debuff. So, yeah. And the solo dunk knockback and hitbox size increased, so they did make the hitbox bigger, but I liked using the shockwave because it's not going to be as big as the shockwave. And then fix the bug where LeBron could dunk himself into the sky. I don't know, but I never had that one, but that sounds pretty funny, actually. But yeah, that's what killed LeBron for me. It's like, I know he can be more of a combo-based character, and that's cool and all, but I liked just going into those big brain, like, just dunks, you know what I mean? And that's where I really got my fun from the character, was just dunking on people. But that's going to be a little bit harder to do, and you're right, I could just, shut up and just learn how to use the solo dunk a lot better and stuff. But, I'm also having a lot of fun with Shaggy right now, so I'm probably just going to keep playing Shaggy. But I will always revisit LeBron, because I do like his combo game, just not as much as just being a monster, you know what I mean? Alright, the ground/air down special with no ball adjusted to prevent ball spam. That's good, because there should not be 50 balls on screen. The air side attack branches earlier on hit. It fixed for hitbox hitting behind him too much. That's good, because we all know from Finn, hitboxes hitting from behind is bad. The air neutral attack branches earlier on hit to increase combo potential. Fixed for ball neutral air branching into no ball neutral air. Gotcha. The ground side attack / ground down attack removes shared attack decay from side attack and down attack. That's good, because two different attacks should not have be on the same decay meter. The ground side attack 3-hit combo hits more consistently. That's good, because you could always, pretty much since the character came out, you could always dodge out of that final hit where he kind of does like the uppercut into like the layup. You could always dodge out of that third hit, because I always tried to look for like a solution what would definitely confirm, and there really wasn't that much. But that's good, now that his basic, like his jab string, will actually land. That's cool. The ground neutral attack fixed angle of attack. Alright, the basketball fixed some team color issues that would occur when reflecting LeBron's basketball. Fixed an issue where LeBron could be stuck attacking without his ball while visibly holding his ball. That's a bad... Oh man, could you imagine if you got hit with that during a tournament or something? I'd be so mad. Then the hot hands perk. When an ally catches a no-look pass while the high hand perk is equipped, the basketball pass buff will emit flames to let allies know they will throw an ignited basketball. That's a good change. Some, good communication, nonverbal communication, instead of having to, tell your teammate, hey, that's a buff ball, make sure you hit it. Now they oh, I can see it's on fire and stuff. But yeah, as you can tell from LeBron's changes, they definitely increase his combo potential. He's much more of a combo character akin to, Arya and stuff, where, her specials are still, or his specials are still pretty good, but they're not, his main tool anymore, because a lot of players, myself included, just use the dunk as, his main tool, and his main, I don't know, gameplay element that you kind of play around and, base your game plan on. But, yeah, he's a lot more of a combo character, which is cool. I'll probably definitely load up the lab and see what kind of, routes I can find and stuff, because I think as a combo character, he is really fun. It just sucks that no shockwave. Just no shockwave. It sucks. For me. But I understand it. Plus, I really didn't think the shockwave was that big of an issue past, the first week of LeBron's launch, because after a while, people learned pretty easily you could short hop over it. and it wouldn't hit you, and you could just punish LeBron. That's why I ended up switching to Shaggy and stopped playing LeBron, is because everyone just got smart and was dodging my dunk, and I was like, okay, I don't have the mental capacity right now to learn all these combos, so I'm just going to go play Shaggy and side spam. That's a joke. I don't side spam. I don't. Anyways, Rain Dog got buffed. Got 2 buffs, 1 nerf. Air up special removed. Hit pause on ally that threw Rain Dog when Rain Dog connects in ball form. Okay. The air ground neutral special got a nerf. Increased cooldown from 13 seconds to 14 seconds. So now it takes an extra second. That's not really too big of a change, but I mean, I'm sure it will come in handy at some point if you're going up against a Rain Dog. In the air up attack, hitbox size increase. So now I guess that hits more reliably. Maybe there were issues with it not connecting like it was supposed to. But yeah, now it has a bigger hitbox and you should be able to land it pretty easily. Alright, Shaggy. Shaggy's side special felt a little too unpunishable, so we've added a bit of whiff recovery. That's very important for Shaggy, but someone that's now a Shaggy main, his side special is really too strong, which is why I make a point of not spamming it. Because I was a Taz main when the game first came out, and then when everyone realized Taz's tornado was broken, I stopped playing him because I don't want to win with a broken character. I want to win because I'm good. But yes, I do agree his side special did need a nerf, because even though I play the character and I main the character, going up against a Shaggy just side spamming sometimes feels dumb, because it's such a simple technique and you should be able to counter it, but at the same time the move was so good, it was hard to counter. But yeah, I'm glad that got extra whiff recovery, so you can punish a Shaggy, you can just outspace him, jump over it, whatever you need to do, and punish the Shaggy. But yeah, the Rage Air side special, recovery increased by 2 frames, now better matches Rage Ground side special, address an issue where Shaggy could perform 2 Rage specials. That's a good fix. He should not be able to do that, because like getting your charge and making sure you land your Rage attacks is probably one of his, like, you know, high risk, high reward. Like, you have to charge it up and be vulnerable for like a couple seconds, and you have to make sure you hit it, because if you charge up safely and you miss, it was worth nothing, and you probably just let your teammate get comboed like crazy while you were charging it. But yeah, it's good that they fixed that. Rage Ground Down special. Shaggy's Shockwave will launch fighters into a final hit that applies the Wicked debuff. This is my biggest thing with Shaggy that I feel like people just aren't using enough, is his down special. Even the non-rage version, you get armor in the non-rage version. So all those people complaining, you know, all the Shaggy players complaining that, like, you know, about getting hit up by like Harley and bugs and stuff like that, just use your down special. It counters so much. Oh, is a bugs trying to hit you out of the top of the map? Use your down special, tank that first hit, land on the ground, and then try to, you know, prepare another game plan. Same thing with Harley. Oh, Superman chaining up grabs and just taking you just straight up off the map. Just do your down special, and then you'll tank that grab with your 1 hit of armor, and you'll be okay. People definitely need to use the down special a lot more. Like, instead of spamming side special, spam down special, because you can get away with a lot of stuff with that 1 hit of armor. But yeah, that's my TED talk for the case for Shaggy's down special. And then the ground air side special added 4 additional frames of whiff recovery, which, you know, was kind of this change, which we already talked about. Alrighty, Steven. We got Steven. Steven got a lot of nerfs. From what I've heard, Steven was pretty strong. I really haven't fought too many, so I really can't speak from like personal experience, but he was apparently super strong. So yeah. Let's see. Ground down special got nerfed. Watermelon Steven ability cooldown now begins when Watermelon Steven is wrung out. That makes sense. The air neutral attack, because if the Watermelon was out for long enough, you could already have it back the moment it dies, because the cooldown timer's expired. So it's better that it starts when the Watermelon Steven is gone. Fix an issue. Fix a bug where Watermelon Steven could spawn inside ceilings and be stuck. Okay, that's good, because, you know, moves should work properly. Air neutral attack no longer will animation hitch. Okay. VO/SFX. Fix an issue where Steven's intro VO lines fail to play. Okay. And then taunt. Fix an issue where Steven could only perform his up taunt. Okay. So he didn't really get too many nerfs. Like, the ground down special, the Watermelon Steven, like, that needed to be fixed. That just didn't, like, the logic on that just didn't make sense, so that's okay. But yeah, he didn't really get nerfed too much, so I think Steven main shouldn't have too much to be upset about. See, Superman got nerfed. I'm waiting for the Velma nerfs, because she was in like every match of top 8 except I think the last one. So, but yeah, Superman was also in Evo quite a bit. The ground neutral attack added additional whiff recovery. Ground up attack added additional whiff recovery. And the ground down special added additional whiff recovery. So basically, Superman, you can punish him a lot easier now. He has a greater whiff recovery on stuff. Just make sure you're positioning yourself and just playing footsies and baiting out those attacks and just punish them. That's not really too many big changes. Okay, Taz. Taz. Everybody loves Taz, right? This is the start of our tornado changes for Taz. We will be continuing to monitor the tornado with extra scrutiny in case additional changes are needed. Because that move was so strong at launch, it gave everyone PTSD. Like, I can't wait from a year or two from now when there's like 50 characters in the game. And people are like, oh, you know, like Raven is so strong or whatever. And we're just gonna have like the old timers that were here during the closed beta. Just be like, oh, back in my day, Taz could kill you at 30% from the middle of the screen. Alright, some changes to the chicken debuff. Fix the bug where transformed fighters could receive buffs that would not appear visually when they return to their normal form, okay. Reduce chicken duration from 10 seconds to 8 seconds, okay. And increase the size of the chicken. That's a buff. So he's easier to hit, but the chicken doesn't last as long. I'm okay with that. That seems like a pretty fair trade-off in my opinion. The air/ground down special. Adjusted projectile movement direction of Taz spit projectiles to be more forward and less of a lob. Okay, I like that a lot because using his down special, that little like apple core shot or whatever, was kind of finicky sometimes. So I actually like that it's more of like a projectile and less of a an alley-oop or a shot or whatever. That's pretty cool. When Taz spits a projectile back at a fighter, the projectile will maintain its original speed. That's really cool, especially if you can eat like a really good projectile or something and send it back out of that velocity. That's really cool. Now, I haven't tried to. I wonder if you could eat a safe that Bugs shoots at you, because I don't know if that counts as a projectile or not. I'm going to test that out, because that'd be hilarious if Bugs just launches a safe at you, you eat it, and you spit it right back and get a KO. That's a Twitch clip, you know what I mean? Let's see, air, ground, neutral, special. If Taz eats a projectile that can't be spit back out, he will refresh a count of his apple core ability. Increased size of hit collision for Taz eating projectile on his neutral special also made it possible to eat projectiles a few frames earlier. Taz deals 1 stack of weaken debuff every time he chooses an enemy, and fixed a bug that allowed for ground movement after eating an enemy fighter. So it's easier to eat projectiles because it activates a couple frames earlier, and when you chew, it puts a stack of a debuff. That's a pretty good buff, actually, because I know his eat move was kind of one of his harder moves to use because the timing is weird and people are just constantly mashing and stuff. So like, odds are their attack would outbeat yours. But yeah, those are good changes. You know, people like to shit on Taz because Tornado is strong, but I like how they're not just nerfing the crap out of him so people could shut up, but they're like buffing him where they think he needs to be buffed. That's really good balancing. I like that. Let's see, air, ground, up special. Damage reduced from 10 to 9, and base knockback reduced from 1500 to 1350. Fix the bug where enemy fighters could become invulnerable to the fight cloud after dodging it. Okay, that's nice. His dog pile is pretty strong. It is a pretty good move, so I'm not mad that they nerfed it. And then the air, ground, side special. Now a cooldown move with a 7-second cooldown. While the cooldown is active, side special is a weaker version of the tornado. So yeah, he'll do the tornado no matter what, but if it's on cooldown, it is a weak version. And it's on a 7-second cooldown. So now you can't spam that strong tornado over and 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 over again, which is pretty nice. Let's see, full power tornado has a 1.5 second duration and receives an additional second duration after passing an ally. I like that a lot, actually. Excuse me. I like that a lot, actually, because it gives your team a reason to kind of fight together, because a lot of the time you would just send Taz on the weakest person with the tornado. But now, if you actually want the tornado to be super effective, you need a teammate to run past. You need a teammate to be like trying to do something against them while Taz is manhandling the team with the tornado. Let's see, on the cooldown, tornado has a 0.25 second duration and does not gain additional duration by passing an ally. So yeah, the on cooldown tornado lasts for a quarter of a second. That is not long at all. And I think that really enforces the ability that you should definitely use the tornado as a high risk, high reward kill move. And you need to like really pay attention and be careful with how and when you use it, because quarter of a second tornado is like nothing. That's going to be really hard to kill with, or really hard to land, honestly, unless your teammates, or unless your teammate is comboing the enemies and you can just jump in there, or if they're at like a high percent or just walk into it or something like that. But yeah, I like the counterplay on that. I like how they made the move really like you got to be careful. You got to use it in the right time, in the right position. And if it's on cooldown, it's better just to try to combo them and try to like combo them and turn them into a chicken or do any other move while you're on those 7 seconds. Because 7 seconds in the grand scheme of things is not really that long of a time. So I would just say, if while it's on cooldown, just try to do combos, try to like land stacks of the tasty debuff, do all that stuff. Don't just try to spam this quarter-second tornado, because I really don't think that's going to be like a good game plan or worth it at all. Let's see, the ground up attack. Now a 2-hit attack that early hit combos into the sandwich clap. Okay, cool. That lands a little bit better. The 2-hit attack, which means it breaks armor now, by the way, because the first hit will break the armor, the second hit will hit them. So if you have a Superman spamming or doing whatever, the ground up attack, not a bad way to counter them now. So that's cool. And we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. This is season 1 patch, so of course, you know, there's quite a bit of notes, but we're almost done. And if you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for even more. You know, I really actually kind of like doing these patch notes videos. It's fun to discuss all the changes and stuff and take a look at everything. But yeah, subscribe, like, all that stuff. You know what to do. All right, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, Dynamite now applies projectile perk effects. That's a very good change, especially when we get some more zoners in, like Rick and stuff, and like a Rick and Tom and Jerry stacking projectile perks and stuff like that. That might be pretty nasty. But yeah, that's something that I don't think will be too big of an effect right now. It could be. I haven't really looked at a lot of the projectile perks because I don't play projectile characters. But definitely pay attention to that one, because this could be like a sleeper buff that ends up just causing Tom and Jerry to destroy people even more. So yeah, that will be in the back of my head. Alright, air normal attacks. Fixed a bug that would prevent Tom and Jerry from using normal attacks when air special limit has been reached. Okay, that's just a bug fix. That's nothing too big. The air up special fixed an issue where Jerry will continue to have active hit frames when falling from the rocket. That's also just a bug fix. So yeah, Tom and Jerry really didn't get nerfed all that bad. I wouldn't say they get nerfed at all. They just fixed some issues. I don't really count moves getting fixed, like bug fixes, to where they weren't working properly as nerfs. Because if it was a bug, it was something unintended. So I just consider like bug fixes and issue fixes just to be like them making the move work the way it was supposed to be. So I really don't count those as nerfs. So yeah, they really didn't get changed too much other than this one. Just you gotta keep an eye out on this one. I feel like this one could be super strong. All right, Velma, the person I was the most interested to take a look at, because Velma has been was destroying top 8 on Evos, and just every Velma I fight in matchmaking just dreams me. I'm not even gonna play it. I just get destroyed by Velmas left and right. Aryas and Velmas. Like, I never see them, but when I do, I get wrecked. I have no hope of winning. But let's take a look at what nerfs she got. And it looks like she got all nerfs. So let's get into this. Air side special, reduced move distance. Okay. The distance this traveled before gave Velma additional recovery that wasn't intended. Alright. The air up special, reduced weaken stacks from 3 to 2. Okay. Less weaken, less damage you take extra, so that's cool. Will no longer chain into air down attack as easily to prevent easy application of damage. That's nice. So now you can't get, you won't get 0 to 40 by doing that over and over and over again. So that's nice. I also like the reduced weaken stacks from 3 to 2. But there's easier ways to get weaken stacks. Like if you're playing as Velma, just have your buddy play as Batman or LeBron or someone, and you can stack weaken pretty quickly. The ground side special, reduce gray health from 12 HP for 4 seconds to 6 HP for 3 seconds. Pretty much you get half as much gray health from that as you did before for a second less. So that's a really good change, because for some reason Velma was super fucking tanky, and that really helps with taking away some of her tankiness. Because like if you were fighting a Velma Iron Giant combo before this patch, good luck dealing any damage that wasn't gray health. You know what I mean? So that's a good change. Let's see. Air down attack, increased recovery. Cool, you can punish it more. Air side attack, added whiff recovery. Cool, you can punish it more. Ground air neutral attack. Alright, fix an issue where word bubbles would go through Bugs' tunnel. I know I've seen some pretty crazy clips of that being just a nightmare, and I'm glad I never had to deal with that. Let's see, reduced ammo count from 4 to 3, so she has 1 less shot? Word? I don't know how to describe that. Reduced ammo return from 11 to 10. Cool. So basically she has 1 less word, and it comes back a little bit slower. Anyways, weight. Decreased weight from 63 to 60, so now you can knock her back a little bit further. See, I wish we had some kind of measurement on how much like one unit was, because she got reduced weight from like 3 units, right? From 63 to 60. But how big of a change is that? Like, is 1 a lot or what? But I mean, it's good that she's lighter. You can kill her earlier. I'm sure even if this is like a smaller change and stuff, just it being like 3 reduced, just because it is smaller, it will come in handy in some situations. So that's nice. Glad that, you know, she's not a heavy a heavy person anymore, because I mean, listen, Velma thick as hell. All right, we all know that. We all love Velma, but you know, it was a little ridiculous. So I'm pretty sure at one point, wasn't she like 2nd heaviest character in the game or something ridiculous? So yeah, not mad at that change. And then the Knowledge's power perk, reduce gray health from 7 HP for 5 seconds to 3 HP for 3 seconds. So yeah, a lot of gray health changes and stuff, making her less tanky, because if I recall correctly, I believe she's a mage. No, she's support. Yeah, she's support, but it's nice that she doesn't really play more of like a tank and less of a support now. I think more so she's a support character like she's supposed to be now. So yeah, a lot of gray health reduces, 1 less ammo count, just good changes. It should make her a lot less oppressive to go up against. I still think she's going to be super strong, especially with people that know how to use her really well and know like her setups and all that good stuff. But yeah, Velma got nerfed, so we'll have to see. I haven't fought any Velmas on this new patch yet, so I don't know like if she's super oppressive or strong or whatever. But yeah, it's glad that she's getting nerfed and stuff like that. And if she needs to get nerfed again, she needs to get nerfed again. If she got nerfed too much, you know, she might get buffs. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really played against too many Velmas, but it's good that they're doing something about her, since she was, you know, she was too strong before. And now we get Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman looks like she has pretty much buffs and just some neutral changes and stuff. And this is the last one on the list. We're almost done with these patch notes. I don't even know how long we've been recording for. It seems like forever, but yeah. Wonder Woman, ground, air, neutral special, lowered cooldown from 13 seconds to 12 seconds. Okay, that's cool. She gets it back a second sooner. Ground side special, projectile shield comes out earlier to allow her to better react to incoming projectiles. Now it's less of like you have to predict when the projectile is coming, and now you can actually react to it. That's a good change. Air, up attack, hurt box should now better match the animation. That's good. Weight, increased weight from 65 to 76. They gave her 11 extra units of weight. So now, yeah, she's going to be a lot harder to knock out, I imagine. Or at least a little bit harder, you know what I mean? So that's nice. Wonder Woman mains, congratulations. You got some good changes so far. And then the last one, Shield of Athena signature perk. Adjusted scale of projectile shield for Shield of Athena signature perk to cover an edge case where projectiles would pass above it during a dodge. Okay, so they just made it work more so of how it was intended. Alright, so yeah, Wonder Woman got some good changes. I think this is a pretty good patch so far. There's really isn't anything that I would want to see more of, actually. Like, going through this whole thing, there's not something where I'm like, this character should have gotten more nerfs or whatever. I think these are mostly pretty good changes and stuff. I mean, of course, time will tell as people, you know, more people are playing and more people are labbing and discovering new tech and all that stuff. But yeah, so far I like these changes. The only thing I guess I could nitpick is I wish Raindog would have gotten nerfed a little bit more, because he does do insane damage, and nothing here really decreased how much damage he does or like change that in any way. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, overall I think it's a pretty good patch. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Did not realize we've been going for 43 minutes. But hey, at least this is like the in-depth patch notes guide. I might do like a shorter version later. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this like in-deep patch notes, let me know. Let me know down in the comments definitely if you got here. Rather, if you'd have like a shorter, like 10 to 15 minute scripted one where I'm just like kind of listening out the changes and stuff like that. Or if you like this one more where it's the changes and I provide like commentary and input on what I think about them. Just let me know down in the comments below so I can, you know, make what you guys want to see. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all your amazing Multiversus news, guides, gameplay, leaks, all that good stuff. And also don't forget to go down to the description below and look for the link to our Discord community server where we're, you know, getting ready for guilds, talking about the game, grouping up, having game nights, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm Zululix, and I will see you out in the multiverse.